Hello subscribers, I hope you guys are doing well. Today's video is going to be another collection room tour. As you can see, I got a new floor which is made out of solid wood as opposed to the old carpet. The reason why my parents decided to change it is because the carpet, it was getting really old. Mold was growing in certain areas and it was getting ripped apart. It was disgusting. So, in the process of the new floor renovation, me and my siblings decided to change rooms, and I ended up getting a new room setup. All of this actually happened last February in 2022. I just kept forgetting to do a room tour video. So let's start off here. In these drawers are just a bunch of cheap toys like Chinosaurs, stuff you would find at the Dollar Tree, so I'm not going to waste my time in looking at these. On top of here, you can see my primal repaints, some really awesome ones like the Ceratopsian and the Red Horned Tyrannosaurs. Right here is the Mattel Cretaceous and Maelstrom from Ice Age of the Meltdown. Then the Woolly Mammoth 3D puzzle that I got for Christmas. And here is this 3D printed Mosasaurus model I got from Etsy. It is cool, but I kind of regret buying it since Collecta is coming out with one this year. Down here are two baskets of plushies. Here's my personal favorite, which is Captain Toad. Here is this big soft Shy Guy that I got from Target last year. And in here, just more plushies, mainly video game characters. Then down here is just some in-box action figures, like this second Hammond Collection Baryonyx, and then an Among Us figure, and the Amber Collection Ellie Sattler. On my desk, all I have is 3 figures, which are some of the most prized figures in my collection. On top of my high school diploma is the Toyway Walking with Dinosaurs Liopleurodon. Right here, Reborn Tyrannosaurus Rex Kiss, which is currently the best Tyrannosaurus Rex model, though the upcoming one from Beasts of the Mesozoic could be better. And then of course, we got the Collecta Deluxe Zyphactinus. Underneath my desk is the D-Rex, the interactive dinosaur. I actually got this thing over a decade ago for Christmas. I'm not sure if he still works. I'm gonna have to see. Then we've got boxes of more toys underneath my bed. Let's start off with this one, which is a lot of King Kong figures, well barring this one, which is Lizzie the mutated crocodile from Rampage. So the majority of King Kong figures in here are from Playmates, well excluding the Leonard Skullcrawler, and I think the Mother Longlegs is somewhere in the bottom of the box. So this next one, filled with Godzilla minifigures, such as Jakks Pacific and Bandai, and then some other ones, like these really small ones, which I think they're called high-grade Gashapons. This is the Monsterverse King Ghidorah, and here is the Monsterverse Mechagodzilla right here, looking very nice, especially for their size. And here's a quick look at the Final War Zilla from one of the mini Battle G sets. Come on Bandai, I know you could do a Movie Monster Series Final War Zilla. That's been long overdue. So in this next box is full of random dinosaur figures, mainly the Sega Dinosaur King line, and then there are some others like the Papoplesiosaurus and the Bristol Museum Pliosaurus that I purchased from eBay. Then inside this large bin, even more dinosaur figures from various companies, lots of toys such as the ones from Hasbro, Chatmay, and some McDonald's stuff. Then a little bit of Schleich and Batat as well. So let's close this and put it away. Yeah, for this and the Godzilla box, I will do a separate video on them in the future. Then in the small box, just some more action figure stuff like these Five Nights at Freddy's figures. And then these bags are just full of accessories. So here's some from the Mattel Jurassic line. And this bag is just full of miscellaneous stuff, some from the Godzilla vs. Kong toy line. Down here, you can see the rubber latex Carnotaurus from Animal Kingdom that I got for Christmas last year. I also have the Alioramus and Velociraptor in my bed, but I don't feel like digging it out. And here, we have boxes and bins full of figures. So right here is a bin of extant animals, primarily marine life. And you can see how the Papomegalodon fits right in. That toy is pretty much just a generic great white shark. Right here, Mattel Jurassic World figures, mainly retools and repaints, stuff that really doesn't need to go on the shelf. And in these two boxes, lots of Papo, Schleich, and some Safari stuff. So in this box, There is some Schleich at the bottom, but you can see a lot of Papu, including the infamous Giganotosaurus. In this bin, lots of Godzilla figures from Bandai, Playmates, and Jakks Pacific. So we've got the cool looking Godzilla 2000 and the Playmates Ghidorah that I recently got for Christmas. Over here, the giant Mattel Jurassic World figures, the super colossals like the Carnotaurus, Indominus, Rexy, and Giganotosaurus. Of course, there is the 1/18 scale sauropods, the Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, and the most recent, Dreadnoughtus. Apparently Mattel is releasing a Mementosaurus this year, and I have no idea where I'm going to put that. I definitely gotta find some space. And all the figures on the floor, the big electronic ones, like the Indominus Rex, the Spinosaurus, the sound-slashing Therizinosaurus, the extreme damage Allosaurus, the Strike and Roar Giganotosaurus with the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus hiding behind him, and of course, the Hammond Collection. And down here, not really a Jurassic World figure, but it's Fiona the Crocodile from the G.I. Joe Classified series from Hasbro. I'm not familiar with G.I. Joes, I only bought it because crocodilians are my favorite animals, and it's great to have a superposable crocodile figure. Here is a smaller shelf that used to contain books that I really didn't need anymore, so I got rid of them so I can display more figures. This shelf contains higher end Godzilla stuff like NECA, SH Monster Arts, and Sega Prize. And then there's the Bandai Movie Monster Series 1991 Heisei Godzilla and the Final Wars Gigan. Moving up is the Miscellaneous Marine Life. Starting from the right, we've got Papo and Schleich. Moving on to Collecte, including the phenomenal anglerfish and basking shark, and of course, Safari Ltd. Lots of rayfin fishes. Then in the back is the Safari Coelacanth, which is based on an extant species, which is why it's here instead of the prehistoric shelf. Up here is the Cetacean shelf, all from Safari and Collecte, and that orca is one of, if not my favorite extant model from Safari. Moving up, all of the Safari Ltd sharks. I love the huge variety here, and the upcoming Collecte Goblin Shark and Angel Shark will be right here. So, this shelf is all of the crocodilians. Starting on the left, we've got the alligatoroids, like alligators and caimans. Moving to the right, crocodiles, and then gharials. It's unfortunate most of these are just American alligators and Nile crocodiles. I am crossing my fingers that Safari has more different types of crocodilians for this year. And on the very top, there's the giant Pegasus Hobby Spinosaurus and Xiphactinus vinyl model, the Nanmu Lord of the Abyss Mosasaurus, the PNSO Triceratops skull, the 2022 Safari Anaconda, and right there, the Reborn Vanilla Ice V-Rex. Time for the main event, the main shelf. So let's begin at the bottom and work our way to the top. Starting with Mattel Jurassic World, here is the Track and Attack Indoraptor, and the Scorpius Rex, the one that comes with Kenji and the Gyrosphere. Here is the $20 dinosaur assortment, beginning with the original Action Attacks, then to Dino Rivals, which is just one, the Amargasaurus, the Massive Biters from Primal Attack, Dino Escape, Dominion, and most recently, the Gigantic Trackers. And in front is some boxes to support the figures and some other random stuff like the vehicles, capture gear, and the Collecte Prehistoric Marine Tube. Underneath, to save some shelf space, I put the Quetzalcoatlus and the Sarcosuchus down here. Then we have the $15 dinosaur assortments, well, which is actually now $18 due to inflation. So starting with the electronic Roarvors from Fallen Kingdom, that Baryonyx, Cerato, and Ankylo are still among the best mainline toys. Moving on to the non-electronic Dual Attacks, then the Sound Strikes, the Roar Attacks, which is just two, the Oranosaurus and Kentrosaurus, both which appear in Camp Cretaceous, the, what were they called? The Roar Strikers, and then of course, the most recent Wild Roars. In front of some of the $15 dinos is the Roar Strikers Liopleurodon resting on top of the Funko Reaction Jaws box. And then there's the amazing Wild Roar Chronosaurus on top of the SH Monster Arts Godzilla box and the Playmates Godzilla vs. Kong minifigures. Now we're on to the small dinosaurs. So here are the exclusives. the Target exclusives like the Cosmoceratops and the Gallimimus, and then the Walmart exclusives like the Battle Damage and the Extreme Damage. And then some of the $10 non-exclusive figures like the Savage Strikes and the Fierce Attacks. And then the rest are all of just the basic figures, ones with no articulation, such as the one that come with the human figures, or the $8 assortments. So there's the Dominion Dilophosaurus, Pyroraptor, Lystrosaurus, and Dimetrodon. All of them came with humans. Then the Ferocious packs, like the Aeneosaurus and the Rugops, the Wild packs like the Shringosaurus, and of course the rest are pretty much just attack packs. In front, there's the Battle Damage Plesiosaurus resting on the neck of Ghostface, and then some Mattel Pterosaurs. In front, we have the Alpha T-Rex Primal repaint that I recently did a video on. Moving up, we've got the models, ones that have no mechanics and ones that are meant to be more scientifically accurate. Starting from the right, we've got pterosaurs like the Quetzalcoatlus and the Pteranodon, synapsids like the Dimetrodon, some archosaurs like that Safari Shringosaurus, and crocodiliforms, such as those 3 Caprosuchuses, the Dinosuchus, and the Sarcosuchus. I am super hyped for the Rebor Dinosuchus. Rebor said that the pre-orders should start shipping in mid-January, and the upcoming Rebor Sarcosuchus is equally exciting. And then there's 3 mammals, the Safari Mammoth, Smilodon, and Hyenodon. I usually don't pay attention to the mammals, they're just not as interesting as say like dinosaurs or marine reptiles. I only bought these 2 because I had a 40% off coupon at Michael's, and this Hyenodon is just a very rare instance of me getting excited for a prehistoric mammal. And the Rebor Titanoboa is chilling in the back. Moving to the left is probably one of my favorite shells, the Prehistoric Aquatic Life. So right here is just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff like Bullyland, Favorite Co Ltd, and Invicta. There's 2 Schleichs, the pretty ugly Nodosaurus, and the good Dunkleosteus. We have PNSO, which has a great variety of reptiles and fish. And then there's the fantastic Tylosaurus, Dunkleosteus, and Cretoxyrhino. So here is Collectae, starting with the invertebrates, 4 mollusks, and 1 arthropod, which is the Redlichia rex trilobite. Soon it's going to be 2 with the upcoming Collectae Anomalocaris. There's 3 fish. It's so satisfying to see a Xiphactinus figure as a part of my Prehistoric Aquatic Life collection. And there's a Basilosaurus, the one mammal on the shelf, and of course, the ever-popular marine reptiles. And marine reptiles also comprise the majority of Safari's prehistoric aquatic animals. That Tylosaurus is still my all-time favorite Safari Ltd figure. I really don't know why. And there's the equally awesome Kronosaurus and 2020 Ichthyosaurus. And this time there's only 1 invertebrate, the Ammonite, which I think is a Pleurosaurus, and only 2 fish. No surprise, it's a Megalodon and a Dunkleosteus. Moving away from the non-dinosaurs, we've got the dinosaurs themselves, starting with the Collectae Deluxes. So many awesome ones here. I absolutely adore that Ceratosaurus, Carnotaurus, and Edmontosaurus. Next to them are the standard size figures, a little less detailed, but most of them are still great. Moving on, we've got PNSO. In the front, different types of theropods, like the Carnosaurs, the Spinosaurids, the Tyrannosaurus, and some feathered ones. That empty space is for the Suchomimus, which should be arriving very soon. And of course, that quote-unquote Sinopliosaurus, which is still beautiful in terms of sculpting and painting, but PNSO should have called it Siamosaurus. And there's herbivores in the back, like the Hadrosaurus, Ceratopsians, and Thyreophorians, like that Tuyangosaurus and Ankylosaurus. This little section is a bit of miscellaneous, the Eofauna Trike and Diplodocus, GR Toys Carcharodontosaurus, Rebor Stegosaurus, some Batad, and the 1 Mojo figure on the shelf, the Triceratops. On the far right is a small section of Papodinosaurs. It is unfortunate that Papo has seemingly degraded. Just look at their Concavenator and Protoceratops, a huge downgrade from what they usually do. But I wouldn't completely lose hope in them. Remember, their upcoming Mosasaurus and Kronosaurus still shows that they are capable of making good prehistoric animal models. Moving up to the next shelf is Schleich and Safari Ltd. I know Schleich really doesn't make good dinosaurs, but most of them always has this charm that makes me really like the figure. I always pick up at least one Schleich dinosaur each year. Some of my favorites include this juvenile Giganotosaurus and the blue baryonyx in the back. And right in the middle is the 2023 Tarbosaurus, which I will be reviewing in the future. Next to them is Safari Ltd, starting with these big sauropods, the recent Patago Titan, and the amazing Camarasaurus and Diplodocus. Moving to the left, some ornithopods, the Edmontosaurus, Gripposaurus, Parasaurolophus, and the one Iguanodon itself. And a bunch of cool ceratopsians. Safari is known for making great ceratopsians, and it's sad that we haven't got one since 2019 with the Styracosaurus. Hopefully this year they'll have at least one. Even more than one would be great. And then Thyreophorians, like Stegosaurus and Ankylosaurus, and then Pachycephalosaurus, and some feathered dinosaurs, like the Anzu and the Dinochirus. And to the far left are all of the carnivorous dinosaurs. So, in front are these three Dromaeosaurs. Hopefully this year that they can give us a Utahraptor. That dinosaur, despite being relatively popular, has been neglected for so long. And then Ceratosaurs like Ceratosaurus itself, and Machikosaurus. Then there are some crested dinosaurs like the Monolophosaurus, the Cryolophosaurus, and the Dilophosaurus right there. Three Spinosaurids, Carnosaurus, and Abelisaurus, which is unfortunately just Carnotaurus. And in the back, Tyrannosaurs, both advanced and more primitive. Here is the 2022 Albertosaurus, very awesome, and the quote-unquote Nanotyrannus, which is of course just a juvenile T-Rex. On the very top, we've got one more section for the non-dinosaurs, all which are giant sea beasts. The PNSO Mosasaurus is chilling in the back, the Chronosauruses from Collectae and PNSO, the PNSO Livyton and Megalodon, and the Schleich Shonisaurus. Back to the dinosaurs. Up here are scientifically accurate, pop culture, and movie dinosaurs. Two reborn theropods, the Saurophagonax and the Disney Carnotaurus, and Nanmu. I do agree with people are saying online that it is lame Nanmu keeps redoing some of their older figures. They already redid the Carnotaurus, the Mosasaurus, the Spino, and the Rex. All of those redos could have made way for a Jurassic Park dinosaur that hasn't got a figure yet, like the Corythosaurus, or they could have done like another more scientifically accurate dinosaur, like what they did with this Giganotosaurus. And if they're doing redos, they should have redid the Indominus or the Indoraptor. Those figures I think they're now retired and are becoming increasingly harder to find. Straying away from the stylized dinosaurs, we've got more scientifically accurate ones, like the Eofauna Giganotosaurus, PNSO Rex, Papo Limited Edition Spino, the Beast of the Mesozoic Subadal Trike, some sauropods like the elusive Carnegie Brachiosaurus, and four giant theropods, like the feathered T-Rex. In my closet, it's just two more bins. This one is a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. You can see some Bandai and Recurse stuff. Here is just more Mattel Jurassic World, repaints and retools. Here is a box filled with more figures, but I don't feel like pulling it out. And over here, you can see the giant Playmates Godzilla figures, all of them from Godzilla vs. Kong. I almost forgot to show these two posters. Both were purchased from Goji Center's online store. Here is the phenomenal Primal poster, and the equally stupendous Marine Life poster. Well, that wraps up this collection tour video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It really supports my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.